are supposed to enjoy.
Right. Then how can an employer like government appreciate labor movements then in that case?
Yes, of course, the government, is also an employer, and also a very big, actually one of the biggest employer, if I may say that, because we've got so many workers who are in the civil service. So the government actually also engages KOTU through affiliates, because if you are talking about civil servants, they have the union. Talk about employees working in the county governments. They are members of a county government workers union. If you are talking about employees who are working in energy sector, they are members of KETAU. If you're talking about employees working in health sector, we have got doctors union, we've got nurses union, we've got clinical officers union. So all these engage the government based on their interests, because these sectors have got different interests. So that when they were engaging, like for me, I engage the government through Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, who are members of KUJ. Right. So I sit down with Kenya Broadcasting Corporation and we look at issues that are affecting journalists within the public service. So that is how it happens with the government as an employer through different organizations that form the government. They also engage unions at different sectors, because I said unions in Kenya, they are formed and organized at sector level. So that means that every sector, you are supposed to engage the parastatal that is in that sector or the government agency that is in that sector, so that you are able to look into the interest and the rights of workers in that sector. Yeah.
Finally, can there be peaceful industrial action in Kenya, or is there a peaceful industrial action in the country?
Of course, when we are calling for industrial action, it's actually very peaceful. We do not want to destroy properties. We do not want to cause the loss of lives of Kenyans. What we are doing is that when industrial action has been called, is supposed to send a message that enough is enough. We have to look for an alternative avenue to air our grievances. But when industrial action is called, it's not called to cause some kind of damage by destroying property, burning property. No. What we do is we call it has to be peaceful, and we usually encourage members to be peaceful, and whenever they are on strike, to make sure that they do not destroy any property.
If they're not peaceful, is there any action you take then in that case?
I haven't seen cases whereby we've got such cases of where members of unions actually have destroyed property. We usually try as much as possible, because that's in our criminal offense, and we usually try as much as possible that before a strike commences, we read all these rules to members, so that they know that if you are going on a strike, this is what you're supposed to do, and this is what you're supposed to do, so that you do not find yourself in the wrong side of the law. Yeah.
Maybe for the audience that's just joining us right now, maybe again tell us about the Labor Day celebrations this year, when it's happening, where it's happening, and who we're expecting to be at that event.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Labor Day will be on the 1st of May. I think it will be on a Monday, and we will be having a national event at Uhuru Gardens, and like I said earlier also, we had extended invitation to President William Ruto to be the chief guest, because this is the first Labor Day after election last year, so we're expecting that this is the only opportunity that he can have to engage and also stipulate some of the policies that he's going to push as a Kenya Kwanza government to protect the rights of workers, and also economic policies, because work is labor is a very important component of economy, and therefore we are going to see how the two are going to intersect. And also the workers also will get the opportunity to showcase, tell the president through procession that we usually have in union, we call them the floats, whereby we'll have the companies passing there to showcase some of the things that they do, some of the services that they offer, like even Standard Group. Yesterday I was having a conversation with Standard Group, and they have agreed that we will be mobilizing Standard Group to go there and showcase this is what we do as Standard Group and other media houses. So those are some of the things that we expect on that day.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. That is Eric Oduor. He's the General Secretary of Kenya Union of Journalists. Thank you for making time.
Okay, it's also my pleasure to discuss the issues of workers and also journalists.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Okay, so I'm taking